Hello gardeners! I am just here popping in with a brief tutorial on how to plant garlic. I've been saving my own seed garlic for 5 years now. This is a hardy white variety. It's a hard neck variety, and that's what I'm going to show you with today. I already planted my soft neck varieties, which I'm growing Oregon Blue and Lorenzo d'Italia. Again, I've been saving all of the seed for about the past 5 years. So for garlic, if you're going to save your own seed, you just want to make sure that it's clear visually from pathogens. Obviously you can't test it in your home, but you could always send it to a lab if you're concerned. There are definitely some things in the Allium family that you don't want in your soil. So if you have any doubt, you might want to just go ahead and get some seed from a garlic seed provider. You don't want to necessarily just grab some from the store because it hasn't been tested for pathogens and you don't know what it's been through. You also might not be selecting the same thing for eating that you're using for seed. But for this one, I picked one that's pretty large. It looks pretty good. And I am just going to snap it off. And you can use a stick or a popsicle stick if it hurts your fingers to break it open, but you just want to, just as though you were going to use it for cooking, break it open. And you want to take each individual clove that's wrapped, leave on the bottom and don't peel it. And then if you have something like this that's obviously 3 cloves in the same wrapping, you could take it apart. I always leave it because I like to have green garlic in the spring, and these ones are perfect because they bunch together and you can take the green garlic in the spring. So you want to just gently take it off. You're leaving the bottom hairy part. And from each head, you'll probably get, depending on the size, anywhere from 4 to 10 maybe little pieces of garlic. And each of one of these is going to grow a new bulb. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but as we said, this one's going to probably generate several bulbs because you can see, even though it's wrapped, it's definitely has those couple little bumps in it. So from here, we're gonna go over to our prepared bed. I've laid and softened this soil, and I'm laying my garlic in rows. It's very simple to plant the garlic. All you do is take it, make sure that the end that the hair and the roots were growing out of is pointed down. You want it to grow the same way that it was before. And then the tip that would grow the sprout is pointing up. You don't want to do it upside down. I definitely did that about 20 years ago, the first time I tried to plant garlic with garlic from a store. It was not successful. I think I even planted it in the spring in Oregon, so it was not successful. So you want some nice soft soil. This soil is the soil that I put cover crop on after we harvested our bush beans in the summer. I put cover crop on, let the cover crop grow, put the silage tarp on, and then it's created this nice soil. And then I also added some of our home compost to this just for some extra nutrients. You are going to take this bottom side, put it in the ground, and you just push it in about its own length into the ground, just like that. And then you would take the next one, and I usually like to plant them about 3 inches apart. You can do 3 to 6 inches apart, however you see fit. If you're doing multiple rows, I usually put them at least 6 inches apart. That way they're not too crowded in there, but you just push them each down. And then once I plant the whole bed, you can just come across with a rake or your hand to cover it. After you do that, you'll go ahead and cover the entire bed with a straw mulch or leaf mulch to make sure that you're keeping it warm and covered and you're not going to get a bunch of weed seed in there over the winter. And then you can just wait until the spring when you see your garlic popping up. I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions, and happy growing. Hi, I wanted to show you another little onion hack that I've been doing for the past few seasons. So I have these Walla Walla onions. Walla Walla onions are a sweet onion that comes in early but doesn't store very well. So if you can't eat them all fresh, or you don't want to eat them all fresh and you have a bunch of onions that look like this in your basket, then you can use these for a really early spring onion. So I'm going to do these just like I did the garlic. I'm just going to plant the entire onion right in the ground. You don't have to do it that way, but I've got this whole basket. I'm not going to eat that many onions. We still have about 2 milk crates worth of onions to get us through the winter. For the past few seasons, we've grown enough onions in a very small space, because onions and garlic are spaced very small, to get us through the entire season. We haven't had to purchase onions in several years, which is nice because we eat a lot of onions. I know onions aren't the thing that you usually romanticize in the garden, but they're very delicious right out of the garden. So all I'm going to do is plant these right like I did the garlic, right in the ground, and then in the spring they'll come out earlier even than scallions or any of your other early onions, and that way you can, even if you don't have enough onions to get you through into the spring and summer months, when onions start coming in again, then you'll have your own onions. So just a little onion hack. So one more thing, if you do see the greens of your garlic pop up, or if the greens of your onions die down, don't worry, it's okay. Everything's gonna grow roots right from the bulb and also grow up the green again in the spring when it becomes warm again. So I hope that you have a successful allium growing time, and I'll see you soon. Let me know if you have any questions.